Happy New Year, everyone. Let me grab my drink behind me. There we go, in case I need it. I really enjoyed the time off. I sewed. I started Joanne Sharp's year-long class. And I hope you all had a wonderful holiday, no matter how you chose to spend it. I got some emails from people saying, with the project we're working on, that basically nothing was getting done because they were so mesmerized by the whole project. And I have to say the same thing. Hey, Barbara. So let me show you what I've done so far, and then I want to show you some other stuff. I'm having a ball with this whole thing, just a ball. And I told John I teach 2 stitches today, but I'm going to do another little add-on. But hey, Margot, Happy New Year's, everybody. I'm telling you, let's just, whatever. Whatever. Margot, I liked your thing on Facebook today. That's what I'm going to say. So, one thing I wanted to say is that, yes, it has been wicked weather here in California, which is actually a really good thing. But take a look at this picture. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was freezing in Livermore, like 25 degrees. That doesn't happen. But this is just north of Grass Valley, California. Try this on for size. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, right? I thought it was Grass Valley, but then when I investigated into it, I think it was like kind of Tahoe. So another thing that came across my plate was I get some skincare stuff from Leslie, and Leslie, Paula Reed's sister-in-law, and she sent me this picture, and I thought it was fake, but no, it's truth. Take a look at this. Look at these snails. Look at these. I mean, that middle one that's got that stuff going on in the slug part of him. And then I started looking for other pictures. Take a look at this. They're real. They're not fake. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just beautiful. So you could put in a Google search, colorful insects and see what you get. But hey, Mother Nature gets it right. So Christmas was great. Everybody was here for basically 4 days. Dare and Jerry spent 1 day at his folks' house. And what I asked the kids for, they came through. And I know this cost $1 million. And I know everybody who looks at it who's not a quilter goes, what's the big deal? But yes, Sus Fargo. And I told them, just pick the colors, put it together. And I gave them the little mini sizes. And it was so funny because they were overwhelmed by it. So Joey took the bull by the horns and made a PowerPoint to present so they could figure out what to get me. And I would normally be excited, but guess what they took home by mistake? Oh, so I'm nervous Nelly. This is a picture they took, which why it's not super clear. I'm nervous Nelly about getting them back. So I was like, okay, just insure them for like 300. You don't want to make it for so much that it puts up a red flag, but enough to get their attention. And then over 500, somebody has to be home. So yay. Okay. Then a funny thing happened on the way to the holidays. Wait, first of all, I'll show you this picture. Okay, it was just the best. But I have to tell you something. I pride myself, I should say pride because that's a bad word, but I love during the holidays to do a really special table setting. And as you'll notice, paper plates and plastic spoons because my 7-month-old dishwasher broke the day before Christmas. So I will say this too, the kids had a ball. They learned the fine art of the game sardines. And if you don't know what that is, and thank goodness because it was so cold and rainy and all that, sardines is a hybrid of hide and seek. And basically one person hides, and then when you find them, you don't go, found you, you get in with them. And so the last person that finds you is the loser or gets or winner, whatever, they get to hide next time. But you end up packed like a can of sardines in some place. So that was really, really a good thing. Yeah, Joanne, it's great to be back here too. Great to be back here. Okay, so, hmm, I don't know why I have these in this order, so let's just hang out together, okay, right? Julie sent this in. She finally finished it, and she sent it to me right after we went to break, so I can't remember the whole story. But it took her a really long time to finish it. It was one of our BOMs by Sue Garman. It's absolutely gorgeous, and she sent a close up of the quilting. Look at that. Oh man, yeah. Okay, then Yolanda, I see I didn't get them all in order, sent this right after break too. And it's real funny because now I'm going to come clean with you. I felt really safe with my neutrals one, more safe, and then neutrals most safe. And then the next one would be the bright one there. And the one that I felt least safe with was the pastels. And I didn't tell you that, but I'm like going, oh, I don't know if I like you. I love this. I love how it's turning out. So here is Karen from Vancouver. Look what she's doing. Completely different. And I forget what she said she's going to be doing down that stripe, but she's got big plans. And I think she said they were out of electrical. In heat and all that. So, okay, I lost my dishwasher. Mary Kay lost water. She was out of water for 2 days. And then Karen was, in the dark and freezing. And so there you go. So I worked on this right here in my lap. I also worked on my Cindy Needham quilt. So let me show you this. Okay. I use my purple pen for the most part when I'm just marking as I go, but then I use my blue one for registration lines. And I have to tell you, I was having a fit. I was using 80 on top and 80 on the bottom. And some of the time it just was not behaving at all. And then the angels sang, and Kestrel had something on Facebook that took you to her blog. Remember, she's the steampunk lady. And it was when you're working with super fine threads on a Q20, try dumping your top tension down to 20 or even less. And I mean, I tried new needles, I tried this, I tried that, and it just wasn't working. Kestrel, thank you. It did it. I got my stitch back. And I didn't know that. I couldn't figure it out, etc. And I think one of the problems was that this is really small. I don't think I have anything in there with frame of reference, meaning not the piece. The piece is rather large, but the stitching is just small, small, small. So I want to put this out. I still do have these cards, all right? To $100 off if you're thinking about getting a Bernina for over $1,000. I can send it to you, but I need to send it to you before you purchase it. And it has to go snail mail. Pam, yours is going out today. Pam is getting a new serger. Anytime somebody gets a new machine, I get really excited. Oh, the other thing that happens, and I know I'm yapping too much, but this was great. In my mini group, there is a person, name will be withheld for her protection and safety. Her husband gave her I think a 770, mid 700 range on Valentine's Day. And she is on an old Bernina. I mean, old, the one where they had like the two balls. I think like maybe a 1400. I don't know, old. And I looked at her and I'm like going, it is the most beautiful machine on the face of the earth. And I said, what day are you free? And so I went to her house. I made her put away her old machine and took her through the things that I love on my machine. And I said, okay, so why didn't you take the lessons? Well, it was in the middle of COVID. And so I don't know, maybe I showed her 10 things, and her husband's sitting there, videoing it and all that. And I just called her a couple days ago and I said, so what do you think? And she goes, I love it. So if you have one of these high-end machines, consider it as a, okay, Jane said also drop your bobbin tension too. Yeah, just loosen it up. When you have a machine, and I mean, I'm not just going to keep it to one brand, but a high-end machine, consider it in layers. It's like an onion, and you peel off the outside, and then you peel off the next one, and you peel out the next one, and there you go. She loves the hover mode. Of course, she loves the things I showed her. She loves it can cut a thread. It's easy to thread. You know, all these things, but literally, she had not touched it since Valentine's Day. So, and that's when she got it. So it was my pleasure to do that, and it helped me fall in love. Remember why I love mine so much. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, so the card is going out. Oh, and then I have, it's the word a conundrum. I got an issue here. I am going away after our thing on Wednesday, of which I'm going to have an interview with Irene Blank. And she is our BOM person. And I did a down under interview with her, and that's the beautiful BOM on the right hand side. And that'll be Wednesday. And then I am going away. But on Thursday, I have on my calendar that I'm doing something with a New York Guild. It doesn't have a time, it doesn't have anything, but on Thursday it says NY Guild. I have the feeling I reserved it and nothing came of it. But if you know of a guild in New York that I'm supposed to be at on Thursday, oh my gosh, please get to me. I can still do it. It's not a big deal, but it was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, Terry, the hover mode is that you can take your machine. Okay, I bought a Bernina because the knee lift, all right? But you can set your machine that if you end with the needle, which is unbelievable for applique and applications. And so you don't have to use it, but I love the hover mode. And so many of these things I thought were like, okay, whatever. I have totally fallen in love with. Okay, let's get to stitching because that's what I promised we would do today. So yesterday, I worked on this circle. Let's take it out a lot. So much fun. I just can't stand it. It's so much fun. What we're going to learn today is, gotta get in frame, this stitch here, that's like the chain stitch. It's called, what's it called? Oh, the double-handed, the double chain stitch, super cute. And then this is a connected fly stitch, all right? But here, I want you to look at what is going on here. Right in here, I felt that something needed to go in. And so basically, I did a simplified fly stitch. Where'd the bottom go? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna put this on. It helps me keep it in order for you. So let me show you what I did here. We did a blanket stitch a couple, I don't know when we did it, but we did it already. You know, there's ways you can jazz it up, like with the French knot that you can see going on here. But I thought, I just want to fill this up. I don't want to do just a single stitch or something. So what I did was, let me turn it around. Sorry, guys. Okay. There we go. I'm going to come down here. Oh, by the way, we're out of lap apps again. I'm thinking it's like my dad who used to make quilt frames in his garage. If you want one, and trust me, if you do handwork, you want one, just go put your name on the wish list and we'll contact you when we get them in. That does not mean you're buying it. We will contact you. Okay, so you can see right here is where I came up. Let me try and bring this in just a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm going to hold it with my thumb. Remember how you hold it with the thumb that's not holding the needle, obviously. And then I'm going to come up there. And I'm going to come down. And the ticket to me, to making this neat and cute, is is to come up, go with the legs on this thing, on this blanket stitch. Come up. Now the other thing is when I kind of get into this area, I do use the little pads. Where did they go? Here, I stuck one here. I do use these little pads. We sell them in the store. I am recycling it by keeping it on here because sometimes it can get a little boogerish to pull through. Oh, the other thing is if you're doing the block of the month, please go watch the first show. Please. Barbara did a very in-depth video for you, and she's getting lots of questions. And I was talking to her, and she said a lot of these questions will be answered if you watch the show. So we're really lucky to have Barbara in our midst, but let's not do her in with questions that could be answered in the show. What's going on, John?
The show is free for everyone.
And remember, everybody, the show is free for everyone. I learned a bunch of stuff on it, a lot. So thank you, Barbara. It's a garden party down under. Okay, so you see how I'm just closing that up. All right, now let's do this one, okay, the fly stitch. And I'm gonna move to my little demo thing. I took my tree down. Have you taken your tree down yet? This was a hard Christmas. I was warned it would be, but yeah, it was hard. Okay, so what I might do is I might take my pen and, well, you're working in circles, so you do a concentric circle, but in other words, I would make the boundaries for this fly stitch to be in, and I'm doing straight here, but that will kind of keep you on track. Excuse me. Okay? And remember, this pen will disappear in about, I don't know, 24, 48 hours. So you don't want to mark the whole darn thing. Just mark where you're going to be working. Pull this a little bit tighter. And you know what? In the beginning, I said you can use a hoop or not use a hoop. Honestly, people, I am so much happier using a hoop. I wish we had put it in the kit, and I'm the one that pulled it out. Okay, so here I come. I am a left-hander. So if you're a right-hander, you're holding the thread, you're holding the needle with your right hand, and you're holding the thread with your left thumb. I'm gonna go here. This is just like what I just showed you. This is so easy. Okay, then I'm gonna come down here, and you can mark your thumb with a felt tip pen if you want help with this, to mark for spacing. And I could see this stitch with French knots on the end of each thing. You see, I'm pushing with this thing here. My little pad. I can wear thimbles when I'm quilting, but this sort of thing, In fact, I really feel like I'm going in the wrong direction. It's feeling very awkward to me. Okay. So that's super easy, right? And that is in your book on page 93. I don't think it exactly has this thing going on, but it's just different variations of the fly stitch. And I'm almost about coming up to where I came down straight there. Yeah, I've got this thing on the wrong finger. And once you use it, you can reuse that little pad thing a couple times. Okay, so now let's go to the double chain stitch. And this one I discovered yesterday, so I'm a little nervous about showing you guys. But basically, what you have going on, and I'm just going to go down and then continue on a little bit. You've got a stitch, a chain stitch going whoops, across, and then down, and then across, and then down. And the across one, it,
A little more on camera.
yep, sorry, John to show me. The cross one theoretically should be smaller. This should be smaller than that one. Some of mine were, some of mine weren't. Let me erase that. I wonder if this one, oh, my eraser's dried out, darn it. I wish I didn't have that marking, so I'm gonna go next door and do another one. You know, I loved that Christmas ended up with paper plates because it just really brought it down to what it's all about. It's family, it's reflection, it's, if you're a Christian, it's Christ's birthday. And again, I love doing fancy tables. Well, that didn't happen. And guess what? It was one of the best Christmases ever. There's my lesson. So I'm going to come up. That's probably too far apart, but I'll do it. I'm coming at an angle. And then I'm going to come down. And I'm going to go straight back up where I started. See, okay, this is where I will be using this on my thumb. Then I'm going to do one coming down. Actually, I can't win with the finger I'm putting it on. Okay, then I'm going to do a side one at an angle. Then I'm going to come back up here to that hole. And I'll tell you what page this is on when I get, oh, look at how that twisted. Let's undo you. I actually, something I'm going to show next week, I learned in another book. And this is why you want a bunch of books. You know, I am so doing this at the wrong angle, and that's my problem. Well, that's one of my problems. Okay. Don't pull too tight. John's coming in.
Get off camera again.
I know, honey. You know what? I'm going to bring this way towards me a little bit. That'll help me a little bit. I'm going to fire the cameraman, which would be me. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this was a new stitch to me, and I really like it. We'll go back and look at it again. See, right now, if I were really doing this for real, I wouldn't want to be working in the middle of my hoop because it just gets in the way. Or I'd use a smaller hoop. I'll do one more. In the book, they have them kind of more married than how I have them, meaning this is closer to this, but I kind of like it this way. I mean, that's the beauty of this, you guys. That's why we called it Make It Your Own. You can do whatever the heck you want, right? And as you get more into these stitches, you're going to find that there are common denominators with many of them, which is why I like that book I recommended so much. And so forth. So let's look at the finished one again. I put little French knots up in there. I thought that just completed it. I'm thinking about doing French knots on the fly stitch. I just don't know if that's going to be too many. I just don't know. And then I'm thinking, can there be too many of anything? I mean, really, right? Um, Another stitch I discovered that I think I'm showing on Monday is this stitch. That was super easy. It looks like a zigzag, but there's like a little itty bitty knot in between. And then this one is the little stitch that I went and zigzagged in. I did that this weekend too. So I showed you how to do this. Yeah. This I absolutely love, and we'll be doing that soon, but I'd rather have you get more circles going. The other thing is feel free to overlap, underlap, and all of that. So I'm gonna take off my little ring and I'm gonna hold this up for you. Or I wonder if I can pull this up. Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Dial in. Huh, come on. There. I just think these are just beautiful. I mean, you know, this is the gift that can go on and on and on. All right, yeah, we did that one. That's cool. So when I look at a space like this one here, and I realize this is just all too naked for me, what can I do? What stitches do I know that I can fill in there? Super fun. Okay, let me see. Oh, let me, my slippers. Thank you, John. They're super warm there by Sketcher. Okay. Um, okay, Debbie's up to 857 French knots. Okay, John, are you bringing in questions?
I just realized you think people would want you to do this. You were wondering,
Oh, what I love about my sewing machine.
should you do a bit
Oh, should I do a video on it? Do you guys want me to do that? I could do a live on that, but I don't want you guys to think, man, that's an infomercial. But I'm happy to do a live on it if you'd like. I'd be more than happy to. And I'd have to really sit down and make a list of like my top 5 things that I love or something like that. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Sue? The double chain, okay, I'm going to be real honest with you. When I look in these books, it's hard for me to really figure out what is going on. It might take me 2 or 3 books to be able to go, that's how they do it. Another thing you can do too is you can, use your YouTube and get stuff. So there's that. The thing I love is that there's just it's endless. It's just endless. Okay, so Barbara, I like this, Barbara. Instead of marking your nail with a marker, she uses a 1/4-inch tape. I like that. Okay. Noelle, your heater cramped out. I'm telling you, I thought it was the worst not having a dishwasher till Mary Kay said that an outside line broke and she didn't have water. Right? Okay, so hope you keep on with embroidery for January. Yes, I am, Peg. I am going to keep going on this because I'm not done with mine, and I think that there's a lot we can do. I will tell you that coming up next, towards the end of February, well, John and I are going to Hawaii for 2 weeks in February, I think, and we're going to do something with neutrals. I've come up with a plan, and in fact, this weekend, I'm going to start working on that quilt, and I'm very excited about it. Very excited. Okay, so Joanne says her husband's so proud she's going to frame it whenever that is. That's right. Whenever.
Dee's gonna do a thing on color.
Oh, yeah, and then I'm going to do a thing on neutrals, and then Dee's going to do a thing on color. Okay, as for the rest of the week, I'll be here on Wednesday. Irene Blank, I've got a really great interview with her. And then Barbara will do Friday, as she always does, the first Friday of the BOM. Now, I'm going to tell you this. She did a pre-BOM thing, and it was filled full of information. I mean, to the point where people are like going, watch it again. It's like your sewing machine. Take it in layers. Don't look at that whole onion and go, I got to shove this whole thing in my mouth at once. Take it in layers. And she said, I believe that this Friday there's about 6 or 7 things she's going to show because you need to know. And then as the other months go on, it might be 2 things. So, and also I want to be very clear that Barbara is teaching how Irene does it, and then if she has a different way she does it, she shows her way, because we know there's not just one way to do everything. And yes, John, whenever he walks in, I'm thinking, what's going on?
Last 2 days to download.
Okay, and also these are the last 2 days to download Color My World. You know, that's it, and then it goes back to Wendy, and then she sells it as a pattern. So uh, is there any chance a really good quality picture of Irene Blank's block of the month can be posted with the Zoom feature, with the Zoom feature that is on the feature quilt in the newsletter? John, I can't believe it's not there, but I think you are, because I was trying to get a better picture of it myself. John,
I'll load one today.
Barb, okay, so it's not on there, is it?
It's not in our gallery.
Okay, but can you
It's
do,
not about the gallery where you can have all the close-ups and things.
yeah, can you do that? John said he'll do that today for you. Thank you. Okay. Am I making the BOM? Not if I'm going to keep doing stuff with you. I'm hoping Irene will forget I have it. It's not going to happen. I wish I could. I love it. But yeah, Jane, the first month was a bit overwhelming, or what she did in December. And Barbara was aware of that, very aware of that, but it was stuff you need to know. So just go back and watch it again. So, all right. We're back. Yay, 2022. And we will see you on Wednesday. I surely hope I have not forgotten anything. I remember, if you're in a New York guild and I'm supposed to be there Thursday, get hold of me immediately. My email address is alexandrsn@gmail. And that's also where you can request one of these coupons. And if you guys want, I'll do a Bernina thing. I have no problem doing that. I mean, and the other thing too is if you have another high-end machine, there may be features on it that are parallel to what I'm working with, and you haven't yet learned or to appreciate what they bring to the party. Okay? All right. Hey, Margot. Oh, I'm back at the top. Good grief. Down here. Okay. Noella. It's in Canada. It's in Canada. Her kit, and I think it even has a lap app in it, got caught up at the border. Please let me know, Noella, when you get it, please, okay? Because that really distressed me. So, okay, everybody, have a good day. And I don't know if I'm going to work on Joanne Sharp's class right now, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I got too much to do. So, see you later. Bye-bye.